It's the Philam Live 7's Football League on 5+. We're expecting another cracking Sunday of football action at the McKinley Hills Stadium, and it's getting off in the perfect fashion. A fantastic matchup on our hands as Tondo FC take on Monte Manila FC in our opener today here at the McKinley Hills Stadium. Should be a fun one. We've got here Claro Manzano. I'm Jing Hamlang. What are we expecting in this matchup, Claro?
Well, we expect both teams already to treat this like a playoff match given the implications. They are in the bottom end of the table, but a win will keep them alive.
Let's take a look at the team standings as we see Tondo and Monte Manila tied up in a logjam there with 9 points. They need to rack up points quickly in order to get into the Magic 8.
And that's the only way for them here. Again, no draws, and a loss could already take them out of contention. So it's pretty much like Judgment Day for these two teams.
Let's take a look at Tondo first. Who should we be looking out for, Claro?
Well, James Ayuban will be the man in the middle for them at central midfield. So it will be up to him to be able to supply scoring opportunities, perhaps for the likes of Papu Korsame.
Meanwhile, Monte Manila coming fresh from a defeat. They're looking to bounce back. Who are we looking at here, Claro?
Now for Monte Manila, on the other hand, it'll have to be Charlie Beaton. He's very quick and good with his feet, so he'll be able to give in crosses and also scoring opportunities for them.
All set up to be a cracker here to get us started with the Philam Live 7's Football League this Sunday. Coming right up, we've got Tondo taking on Monte Manila. Monte Manila getting us started here at the McKinley Hills Stadium. They're taking on Tondo FC. All set up to be a cracker here in Taguig. Jing Hamlang and Claro Manzano calling the action for the Philam Live 7's Football League here on 5+.
So we saw Monte from the get-go just going for a shot way off target. We did mention earlier, Jing, when we spoke that they're Monte's a high-caliber team up front.
They certainly have a lot of firepower, this Monte Manila side, but they haven't been getting the results they've been looking for. Struggling a little bit in the standings, and they need a win today, Claro.
Definitely, because should they fail to get that W, playoff hopes will really start to diminish. So these are like playoff games, in fact, already for Monte Manila.
12 teams in the division. You need to get into the Magic 8 to make it into the quarters. Right now, Monte Manila finding themselves outside of the pack. But right on top of them is this side, Tondo. Equally in need of a win.
So same situation, in fact, goes for Tondo. But we look at things on paper right now. They have the deeper bench in terms of personnel.
Not taking any chances. Use the head there, Paulo David. Way too physical from behind. Easy call for the ref, Roger Batuigas.
It's a free kick relatively close right here. Perhaps Kennedy Ozoka could swing this into a fellow teammate. Looks quite tight to go for a goal.
Beaton and Uzoka over the ball, having a bit of a conversation. Looks like Kennedy's going to take over. Played short. No real opening to exploit.
Great job there by Tondo on staying compact. In a situation like that, they're very compact. Monte may have to throw numbers for, and that can leave them exposed on the counter.
We've seen some fantastic performances from Tondo in this 4th season of the 7's Football League. But it's the consistency that's been rather absent in this campaign. But in terms of levels of performance, Claro, they have hit some wonderful peaks. And we've seen some lovely stuff from them this season.
I think if I'm correct, they pulled off an upset against Laro. That was great stuff there. If we could see something like that from them week in, week out, they will be a shoo-in into the playoffs. You also see how Monte is undermanned. Charlie Beaton is playing in the center. We normally see him as a winger.
Of course, they're missing the main man, Stefan Schrock, as well, who's on national team duty.
On the other hand, Tondo's advantage, of course, they are an intact squad.
Good find down the middle. This is what we've grown accustomed to with Tondo this season, is the patience on the ball.
So that's something we definitely didn't really see in Season 3, and it's lovely to see that progression.
Korsame. Turn and shot. Easy for the keeper. First attempt on goal for Tondo.
First attempt on goal. These teams are just getting warmed up again, Jing. It's a much smaller field here in 7's. No offside, so more end-to-end action, possibly more goals.
Batigas manning his duties there against Kennedy Ozoka. It's a bit of a discrepancy in frame.
Now let's see if Ozoka will be able to exploit that. Maybe you could call it a mismatch right there. What's interesting with Kennedy, he also has that speed.
Good switch of play. Tobias. All the way back to Onabia.
And we did mention, Jing, for Monte to get that W, they will have to tighten up in defending.
Ozoka gets the flick on.
Great job there from the Monte midfield in being able to find Kennedy Ozoka. You know, going back to Kennedy Ozoka, if they could continuously go for him like that, that may lead to a lapse for him to exploit and go for a goal.
Good use of the body to shield the ball.
Just beautiful passing here. We'd like to see Tondo knocking those combinations in front in particular if they want to get into the driver's seat.
Ozoka picks it off. Able to dink away from his man. Left-footed strike, not going to be a problem.
Not a problem at all there. It's the Tondo defense that made life difficult for Kennedy Ozoka, but he did get to showcase his footwork. You know, and given that it's a much smaller field, there's a premium put on skills here. But of course, he still cannot neglect speed and conditioning nonetheless.
Into the middle. Onabia just about doing enough. Space opening up down the middle. It's quickly clogged by the white shirts.
It's just been James Ayuban dictating pace for them as the man in the middle for them.
Probing from left to right.
You know, we take a look at the approach of Monte. It's like they're keen on sitting back and pouncing on that counter.
Not a lot of personnel, as you mentioned, Claro. They're doing a good job just managing their energy, not stepping on the gas too hard here, especially early on.
They'll have to go with cruise control right here to get that W. If you're Tondo, of course, if you'd like to pick up the pace and tire out these guys, just one sub for them, it appears, in Freddie Mbang. Or I think there's a second sub now for them.
Looking for the opening. Nabia forced backwards to Papillon.
Ball's just been here for Monte pretty much. But Kennedy Ozoka is trying to get things going for them again. Charlie Beaton is that makeshift central midfielder for them today.
This is where Tondo is dangerous in the transition. Went for power instead of accuracy and missed the target by quite a distance.
Well, you do not want to give Papu space like that. The thing with Korsame is he could just capitalize, but that's a fortunate break there for the white shirts.
Just nice little grass cutter over to Charlie Beaton. Chance opening up. That's snuffed out by the defense. Goal kick.
And great chemistry there by Tondo FC. Again, these guys train together regularly. That was by Batigas, of course, teaming up with Libre.
Getting around Mbang, who's just checked in. He's able to recover. That pass makes it to Ozoka. Beaten. Chance for Kennedy. That's a crucial intervention.
Just poked away by Tondo. Great job there, but they still have to deal with this corner.
Mbang looking to side foot it, goal kick.
You just see how Freddy Mbang completely changed things in this game. Inserted in central midfield. Charlie Beaton getting to shift over to the left. And we came up with that lovely chance right there for Monte. Mbang actually more of a holding central midfielder.
Here come Tondo once more. Korosame being marked tightly.
I think with Tondo actually, the way they train, it's actually in a futsal setup. So it gets them to work on their agility.
Confidence from Batigas under pressure from Ozoka.
You know, it is pretty scary to have guys like Ozoka and Mbang charging at you like that.
Such long limbs on Kennedy Ozoka.
You know, you think you get to clear them and find the open teammate, and next thing you know, they may just intercept that pass out of nowhere.
Speaking of the roots of Tondo, they practice on a court, as you mentioned. Charlie here with an opportunity. It's a lovely goal to open the scoring.
Fantastic stuff there by Charlie Beaton. Again, playing in his natural position. Calm and composed finish.
Quality from Beaton.
And Beaton's just that guy who can bring in the pace, and he's very good also with the ball in his feet.
Defense was scrambling there. Space was going to get covered very quickly, but some quick thinking from Charlie Beaton.
It's almost like second nature for him right there.
Gives them the advantage here, and Monte will be quite pleased. Korosame shimmying left and right. Nice little link up. Left-footed strike just wide from Dennis Balbin.
So close there for Balbin. He thought about it for a moment. Perhaps that gave time for the defense to recover and change that shot. We see the apologies there from Regalado. Didn't get the best touch there.
Korosame fakes the shot. Does it for a second time and is bundled over by Mbang.
Korosame is a really tough guy to stop right there. Mbang, I don't think he really intended to foul him right there, but it is what it is. Korosame again, very fast with his feet.
He's a tricky customer. Papo Korosame. He's really been growing his profile over the last year or so. He's come on as a prospect in the past, and he's blossomed into quite a player, playing professionally, playing of course for Tondo, and everybody getting a chance to really experience the quality that he brings on the pitch.
You know, speaking of Korosame, also we hear some people saying that he should be considered for the national team, so that will be great for his progression also. But back to the game here. This is a lovely chance for Tondo.
Step over. Papillon coming out quickly to close that down.
Monte just got to tighten up things there, especially with their wall.
Korosame.
You just saw there how Onabia bodied up Papo Korosame.
Just eased off the ball.
Quite a big size advantage.
Korosame, this time, Papillon able to get a foot in.
And of course, speaking how he is the lead man for Tondo, it's no surprise that defenders here in Monte have his number. Again, we've seen continuous pressure right here. Well, I spoke too soon, Jing.
Beaten. And cutting inside, linking up with Ozoka, and Mbang getting involved. That's a strong challenge on Uzoka, but
Korosame Philam just putting up a show right here.
Balbin. It's a good pass into the middle, and Bang was fouled on the play.
I was gonna mention earlier actually that Tondo were getting a good amount of possession, being able to pressure Monte. Monte able to put their foot on the gas a bit.
Uzoka allowed to turn. Return ball doesn't get there. Looking for Regalado.
We see an opening right here on the left. Monte perhaps they'd switch it up, but they opt to go right again.
Lovely play from Monte Manila. A crucial intervention from Batigas.
That would have given them a great cushion. Had Uzoka been able to meet that pass. It's unfortunate there's, again, a one-goal lead is not safe at all. Especially in a 7-a-side setup.
Right now, Monte Manila looking dangerous every time they go down the field. They soak a lot of pressure. Tondo getting a lot of the ball, but looking rather brittle at the back at the moment.
Tondo have mainly been holding the ball at the back. We'd like to see more combinations again, like what we saw in the early stages of this game. Because if we see a team dictate or hold most of the ball, we'd like to see those combinations again.
And Bang tracking back. Clever from Uzoka. Beaten was looking to let it run.
It would have been spectacular had Uzoka and Beaton make that stick.
Ball out for a goal kick.
Again, we've seen this continuously from Monte because they are down in numbers. They're settling into that midfield block. But as this game develops, let's see if they'll pile up some pressure. But they'd have to be happy with this slim lead for the moment.
And managing their energy really well. We mentioned that it's a light squad for Monte Manila at the moment. They're not getting themselves gassed out here in the first half. They've taken the lead, as you mentioned.
Because when you take a look at a side like Tondo, these guys are well conditioned also and are very fast.
And Bang taking a tumble.
And Bang holding on to his right shin.
Good clip there.
But from the way he's reacting, it looks like he will be fine. They will be needing Mbang, of course, as they only have about 1 or 2 substitutes.
A yellow card for Freddie Mbang. Not sure what that was for. He was the aggrieved on that play, but he might have had some words for the referee.
Couldn't do any lip reading from here, but I'm sure he said something unpleasant to the referee to pick up a card like that.
So that means Monte Manila down to 6 for the time being as Freddie Mbang sits out with that yellow card.
Well, how it works in a setup like this, when a player receives a card, he will have to sit out for a moment, but will get to return nonetheless. We have a check on our fouls actually. It's 3 fouls for Tondo and 1 for Monte. Should we exceed 5 fouls, the opposing team will get a face-off penalty.
Zorka keeping the play alive. Shot out for a corner.
It's very difficult if you're a defending team to give space to Kennedy Ozoka like that. He has that quick first step. Also has the body to play physical against his counterparts. Tondo not one of the biggest teams again.
Nice little shuffle here from the pack. Touch for the substitute. Looking for the quick counter. Keeper is out. And that's a crucial save from the shot stopper. Was well outside of his box, but used the legs to great effect.
Sweeper keeper action right there. He was the last man out. No other choice there. By moving forward, you get to limit the angles of the attacking player. And that's exactly what they did.
Twice we've seen Tondo really threaten on the break.
And again, Tondo with more creativity now in the attack, especially that they have that passing game of theirs, the confidence again. And these guys have been improving in every season.
Numerical advantage for Tondo is done. Monte back into full strength. Papilon, no lack of commitment, but a little too overzealous there.
And with possession here, we'll get to swing back to Tondo.
Korsame doing it all on his own. Said he was clipped there at the end, but what a goal that would have been. Just could not pull the trigger.
Monte defending like their lives depend on it. Just escaping by the skin of their teeth as we saw slide here on the other end of the pitch.
Timeout being called by Monte Manila. They need a breather, and we'll take one as well. We'll be right back. Back underway, fresh from the timeout. Monte Manila getting a needed break here under a bit of pressure from Tondo.
You know how it works here in the Philam Life 7's football league is that teams get to call a timeout. It's actually great if you're a coach, you get to make some in-game adjustments.
And bang! A lot of power behind that shot. Didn't trouble the keeper, however.
Mbang charging forward as a central midfielder. It's pretty scary when you have a guy of his size and pace, charging at you again.
But Digas, pass was loose.
A little careless right there from Tondo. But thankfully, that did not lead to a counter. They're able to settle quickly in their defensive formation.
Able to keep that in play. Charlie beaten. And bang. Gets it out wide. Cross comes in. Charlie with a nice touch. Gets through the legs, but unable to get any end product.
Had they gotten that to stick, though, would have been in the highlights maybe. But again, you talk about the control there. At one touch is really difficult to get, or it's tough to get that spectacular first touch. So here we go. It's been mainly Tondo in dictating possession and building up from the back.
Monte tucking in into their own area.
It's been Kennedy Ozoka up front for them.
And Bang unable to get it to the front man.
Secured by Mbang, but not getting the best control to find Charlie Beaton.
Not much time remaining in this opening period.
It's just about 2 minutes remaining.
Uzoka's got support on the left side. Beaton first times it. Almost an own goal situation.
Charlie Beaton, seeing that he didn't really have his teammate in Francis Tobias in the center, but what he did, he just sent that ball forward, hoping it could come off a defender.
Not the best delivery from Charlie.
We could hear the frustration from him there.
Going with a distance shot there on Emisi. Beaton. Skip past one man, unable to get past the second.
Beaton looking to make amends for that botched delivery earlier. It's picking up the effort there.
And Bang gets it into the middle. Gets away from Tobias.
That's the pressure we're talking about there that Freddie Mbang brings in.
Navigating it nicely. But running out of room. Joseph Cerdena.
Not only room, but also time.
Tough matchup there against Mbang.
That'll be a mountain to climb going up against Mbang.
Rizoka called for the foul. Perhaps the last play for Tondo.
If you were Tondo, you'd like to at least get a goal heading into the halftime huddle. Complete opposite for Monte Manila. You would not like to concede in the dying stages. Foul's not really a factor here. It's 3-3 for both teams.
Spots the run. Just over his intended target.
Oh, that target there is in Marcelo Pitogo. Just storming down the left.
There it is. Halftime whistle has been blown. Monte Manila holding a slim advantage over Tondo FC. We've got a second half of excitement just around the corner. Don't go anywhere. Here we go, second half action underway. Tondo FC looking for a way back against Monte Manila, who hold the slightest of advantages in this match. Jingam Lang and Claro Manzano calling the action. Philam Live 7's Football League here at the McKinley Hill Stadium.
You know, so far it's been that goal of Charlie Beaton that made the difference for Monte Manila, picking it up relatively early in the 10th minute. But we've also seen some close calls from Tondo, courtesy of Papu Corsame, of course. And speaking of this game, some playoff implications. Both teams close to the bottom, tied on 9 points. They will need the win to keep their hopes alive. It's like a playoff game already.
Papu Corsame, as you mentioned, had some great opportunities to level things for Tondo. It was perhaps just a little too intricate in how he wanted to finish the opportunities. And here he is once more. He's got such quick feet.
It will be up to him, of course, and Ayuban to get things going for Tondo.
Space opening up. White shirts back quickly. Kurosame gets it down the middle. Chance blocked by Onimisi.
That shot right there was taken by Leo Kapalungan. But great job there by Monte Manila, getting compact to deny that shot.
Let's see if Tondo are able to pick up the pace here. Claro, as we mentioned, had plenty of the ball, but haven't been able to turn up the heat here against Monte Manila.
Well, that will have to be the name of the game for Tondo today. They have way more players on their bench as compared to Monte Manila. So perhaps if Tondo could continue to play at a high pace, they could gas out their opponents.
Mbang cuts it out.
Yeah, but going back there, Jing, speaking of gassing out their opponents, Monte have been able to force Tondo to play it relatively slow.
Safety first from Onimisi. And that one unable to be corralled by Kapulungan.
That's the beauty of seven-side football right there. Just more end-to-end action. Tondo quickly conceded possession as Monte just got things going. That switch to the right.
Just blasts it out of bounds.
But maybe not enough for a home run.
Going backwards here, Charlie Beaton.
We take a look at the defense of Monte Manila. Onimisi and Onabia. Bring in a very big physique as compared to their counterparts.
100%. Here's some big men. Giant defenders.
What more, they have Freddy Mbang in front of them as playmaker.
Nabia shielding the ball. But Korsame able to battle nicely with the big man.
It's very gritty by Korsame. As a result, got a throw in deep in attacking territory.
Not kept in play. Just over the line. Tobias. It was a high arm, that's for sure, but both arms were high actually from both guys.
That's a tough one.
Tobias being called for the foul.
Unfortunately, there Monte did not have numbers, as it was just Tobias who made that run forward.
Through the legs of Mbang, and this is a great chance. Freddy looking to find the far corner, just wide.
Mbang there getting nutmeg, but team effort there, being able to get the stop. He came up with that shot eventually.
Nabia quick to anticipate.
Things to continue swinging in favor of Tondo. It's pretty much been the same script from the first half.
Uzoka keeping possession. Foul throw from the attacker.
That was another tough call on that foul throw. Kennedy Uzoka was contesting that right there. But Tondo were a little bit loose in that forward ball, so they got that throw in which they just failed to capitalize on. Well, Monte rather.
Charlie picks it off. Doesn't get the return ball. Drags down his man.
That was starting to look a bit promising. Kennedy Uzoka, Charlie Beaton, two players very familiar with each other, playing together even in the professional level.
Goes wide to Tondo. Batigas switching the play.
That's just enough from Monte to be able to delay the attack.
Half volley blocked. Keeper off his line once more.
Riazo right there having to charge out. That ball took a slow bounce. So we had a dangerous chance right there from Tondo FC.
Mbang misses the clearance. Almost led to disaster.
Lucky break right there for Monte Manila. Tondo FC managed to get that second ball, but finishing there, letting them down.
It's not that they haven't had their chances, Tondo. They just haven't been able to capitalize when the goal is within touching distance.
Konti na lang, maybe just a bit more of finishing, and of course the playmakers would like to give a very crisp pass. That would definitely make things much easier for the players up front. Charlie Beaton right there is showcasing his footwork again. Some step overs. Although they haven't really picked up the pace in Tondo, they've been dominating possession.
Looking for that pass into the middle. They've been good at breaking the lines and getting into the final third. They just haven't been able to really open up Monte Manila when they're in this deep block.
It's been a great effort from Monte on defense, in fact. So you did mention earlier, Jinga, Monte had some struggles in defense throughout this season, but they have a very talented front line.
Just beyond. The right winger was trying to send that one in.
But for Tondo, the time continues to tick. About 17 minutes. Good amount of time to make a comeback. Again, given that this lead is still at 1-0, at the least, these guys would like to extend the game. Again, we need a winner, no draws. Perhaps they could pull off a surprise in the penalty shootouts to complete a come from behind.
Touched away. And that's a crucial intervention from Mbang. Uzoka now all alone. Can he make it two? What a stop!
Fantastic reflexes right there, but Kennedy Uzoka was saying he was fouled. But Monte getting a quick stop.
Foul called. Mbang releasing the ball, was dragged on the play.
Kennedy Uzoka, right when the foul was called, was chasing down that ball. Wanted to make up for that sorry denial.
Interesting to see. Monte Manila, will they be made to pay for missing such a golden opportunity?
You know, time will tell here also, and given that they are down in numbers again, conditioning may prove to be a factor. That is something that's normally exposed in the end of the game.
Painful one for Unabia. Is chopped down as he was making the turn.
This game indeed is starting to get heated.
Batigas having words with Unabia.
Batigas will have to be careful. He wouldn't like to pick up a card like what Freddie Mbang did. Tondo also failed to take advantage of that earlier. They had the numbers advantage as Freddie Mbang had to sit out for a moment. Again, if a player gets carded, he will have to step off the game for a while. His team will play a man down.
Charlie Beaton, always a willing player to link up with. Return ball was much too long.
That ball there that was overcooked was from Freddie Mbang.
Freddie getting involved with Uzoka.
Freddie Mbang continuing to make himself heard right there.
Took some offense at how the Tondo player had cut across him. Sasonia.
I think it was 2-on-1 right there. Mbang outnumbered, of course.
Handball called on Kennedy. Quite clearly struck the arm.
Kennedy Uzoka also dropping back to help out with defense. He is that guy up front. But again, given that this is a 7-a-side setup in the Philam Live 7's Football League, no offside. Perhaps you may see some cherry picking.
Drilled goalwards. Easy for Onimisi.
That's been the story so far. Again, for Monte, they've been very compact at the back.
And they're looking dangerous going forward as well. Regalado. Switching the play to Beaton. The cross to Regalado. Just beyond.
What a play right there from Monte. Being able to swing it from one side to the other. And that was a very promising switch there. Unfortunately, Regalado wasn't able to secure that. Perhaps that ball was a bit overplayed.
Balbin checked in here for Tondo, but he's playing closer to the back this time. Uzoka, nalusot. Beats a second man, gets a shot away. Derecho sa keeper.
Bottom corner save right there. Great positioning from the keeper.
Medyo loose yung pasa ni Batigas. Now it's Dennis Balbin. They're going to thread the needle. Mbang takes it away.
You know, with this defense of Monte, they've been able to stop majority of the balls as of late from Tondo. The defense haven't been able to connect with the midfield. Although Tondo have possession, they haven't been able to really control the tempo.
That's been the issue here for Tondo. Hawak nga nila yung bola pero yung Monte medyo komportable sila with their backs against the wall.
And with Monte, they took advantage of the limited chances they've had as of late. Again, that goal earlier, courtesy of Charlie Beaton.
Tondo, their approach isn't working here, Claro. Ano ba yung kailangan nilang gawin to perhaps find a way through this Monte resistance?
And perhaps with Tondo, they have to stick to that style of play as Uzoka just wide.
Kennedy's probably wondering what does he need to do to find the back of the net. There's going to be a short timeout. We'll be right back. Back underway at the McKinley Hills Stadium. 10 minutes remaining for Tondo to find a way back. And that's not a great start. Fresh from a timeout. Given away cheaply. Regalado. And Bang gets past two defenders and Uzoka air kicks it.
And there is a second chance right there from Beaton on the other side, as he was denied by a defender.
Potential nail in the coffin. Missed by Monte Manila.
You know, given Monte got a chance like that, parang sayang lang yung timeout. It's still the same as Mbang making another interception.
Mbang getting a shot away. It was heading off target, but the keeper wasn't sure.
Their keeper appears to be knocked.
Looks like how he fell wasn't ideal. He needs a moment to recover here.
Looks like he took a bad fall on his right shoulder, right there on the dive.
Seems to be okay. Shaking it off. Regalado unable to take advantage.
And this would have been an ideal chance for Monte with this, well, for Tondo rather, given that the back was left open. Monte throwing everyone forward for a corner. And they get to advance at the least up the pitch.
Unabia not taking any chances there. Lost out on a shielding battle with Kurosama earlier on in this match. Decided this time safety first.
Well, those two guys have been going at it. Papu Kursame, again, much smaller than Onabia. Pero ang tapang niya.
Certainly, di nakukulang sa bravery itong mga players mula sa Tondo. They've been mixing it up very nicely here against Monte Manila, but they've still found their first goal to be very elusive. But here they come on the break. Freddy Mbang has been tremendous for Monte Manila.
He's just been controlling the center of the field, very vital, connecting defense to attack.
Kursame unable to keep that one in.
Again, Tondo getting some chances. Perhaps it's because of that sense of urgency.
They are pressing now.
Again, the concern here is that time is not on your side. If you're chasing the game, it just seems like the clock speeds up.
Onemisi. Another foul throw.
I think that's the second foul throw Monte has gotten in this game already. They gift possession back to their opponents.
Kursame allowed to turn, but couldn't get the ball from out of his feet.
Kursame was just surrounded by 5 men from Monte. He did not really have options left and right.
Nabia's fake worked. Batigas bit on that one. Beaten somehow managing to connect.
I think that's some superhero powers right there. They resume play very quickly. Beaton getting to track that ball down from Riazo. But great presence of mind also from Riazo. And being able to find his teammate on the left.
Uzoka. Regalado. That one well wide.
That's a quite clever ball from Kennedy Uzoka. Looked like his options were actually closed out, but he managed to find Regalado.
Crunch time now. 5 minutes remaining.
And just a foul check also. Both teams 3 fouls each. I don't think they'll really have any trouble moving forward. Perhaps they could still take advantage of some fouls and not give up any face-off penalties.
Was there a foul there?
It was Beaton who was fouled. As a card's going to be given, I think.
That was very quickly given by the referee. And it's a red card. Got the yellow. Wasn't content. Had a lot to say to the referee. And Joseph Sardegna is off.
It must be the frustration also kicking into the head of Sardegna. They've been throwing pretty much what they have, and they haven't gotten that elusive equalizer. But it is not good at all for Tondo. You're already chasing the game, and then all of a sudden you're a man down. This might just give Monte a time to run the clock, or perhaps get that elusive cushion for them on the other hand.
He's gonna look back at this and be disappointed with himself. He's let his team down. As they are on the chase here. Now with a 1-goal deficit, they'll also have to chase with a man down.
And this may just be the golden opportunity for Monte to seal the deal.
Onomisi running into trouble. Played quickly by Monte. Mbang gets it over to Beaton.
You have to talk about the consistency of Freddie Mbang in poking out those balls and finding his on-rushing teammates. He's allowed Monte to dictate possession of this game, but not in that case there. They failed to make it stick.
Racing down the right side. Unabia had it covered. Balbin. So many white shirts and too few red ones. Mbang. Beaten on the left side. There is a foul.
Referee not calling advantage. Beaton, right when he was fouled, was able to send it back to Mbang. Mbang was a short distance away from the goal.
Monte Manila should be getting close here to potentially a penalty. Tondo racking up their fouls in this second half.
Earlier we had a foul check in Tondo. We're just at 3 also. One more foul gives it away.
Played low by Mbang. Korsame looking to do it on his own. Again, as he has done all throughout. Mbang poking it away. Onomisi gets it to Beaton. First times it. Second opportunity. And that's it. Kennedy Uzoka has sealed it here for Monte Manila.
Uzoka also bringing out his trademark celebration there. Some cartwheels. He managed to get the ball. Uzoka not able to connect earlier in the first half with his opportunities, but delivering when it mattered the most for the team in white.
Has to add to the frustration here of Tondo.
And I think this is set pretty much, except for the final score. Not enough time, I think, or very limited time for Tondo. They will have to get out of a 2-goal hole.
Foul called on Regalado.
So we saw a man from Tondo who's made his way as far as the A boards.
Medyo napalipad siya dun sa A-board natin. You see him, he's still talking to the referee. That was Batigas.
And you know, Jing, that also burned some time off the clock. Of course, normally in a situation like that, they'd play it quick in search of that goal.
Chance here for Corsame. Feeds his teammate. And that's a wonderful stop from Riazo. And there it is. Final whistle is blown. Monte Manila getting a vital 3 points over Tondo, keeping their playoff hopes alive. We hope you enjoyed the action. It finishes 2-0 in favor of Monte Manila. This is the Philam Live 7's Football League on 5+.